What's up, fellow Bleepin' Jeepers? Today in this episode we're going to put this motor in this Jeep and get Scorpion 2.0 back up and running and driving. Let's get started. Alright guys, so kind of behind the scenes while you guys weren't looking, I swapped over all the accessories here from my old motor onto the new motor, and if you skipped a few episodes, that motor blew up. And I got this motor from the Jeep dock and we're putting it in Scorpion, calling it the Scorpion 2.0. And I'm going to put rear steer axles in that as well, 1 tons Dana 60s front and rear. And we're going to take the Scorpion back to the Scorpion again, but it's going to be even better this time. So the first things first, I got to get this motor in, and I think it's about ready to go in. As far as I can tell, I've got all the accessories swapped over. This is a 2001 motor. This one was a 98, so I had to use all the old 98 accessories because there were some things that just wouldn't fit right. And also Jeep Doc had some parts on there for his scrambler that this came out of, so it should just shove right back in. The exhaust was different, the O2 sensors was different, the intake manifold was different, some of the pulleys and accessories on the front were different, but it should be ready to go. And I've got it all swapped over now. The hard part's going to be pushing it over there. There's a little hump I have to get over in the concrete. And I already started doing what I said I wasn't going to do, which was working in this space and getting the concrete all nasty. Yeah. So when you got room, you tend to use it, you know what I mean? Zip tie. Bought this load leveler thing. Never really used one of these before. I don't know if it's going to make it easier or harder, because now it's so level I can't really tip it by hand. Hopefully I can crank this down far enough to stick that. Oh, you gotta be joking me. I have an idea. You'll have to tell me if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I don't know about you, but I think that was a good idea. I feel like that needs to be a job. Is there a job like that? Maybe I could apply for that job where you just, companies come to you and are like, hey, how do we make this product better? And I say, oh, for 50 cents you could make it totally better. I need that job. If you're unsure what I'm doing, I can't remove the front clip because this is all welded in here, so I have to go over that and then down and then try to shove this motor in. So I think it's time to go down now. See what happens here. Alright. Gotta work this sucker down and into the tunnel here. Now I've run across another problem. This thing has to spin around, but it's hitting the arm there. Another thing I would change if I was in charge of making these tools, losing this thing. Why does it even come apart? Why doesn't it just like permanently attached here? How did I get this thing out of here? It is not wanting to fit back in. I can tell you that. You know what my favorite bit ever is? A step bit. There's no guesswork. You just put it in there and you're like, oh, I just need to open it up a little bit. I'll just go one more than that. Boom. One of the questions I often get with this power steering on the Scorpion here is how did I set that up? So typically when you have a power steering reservoir, it's separate from the pump, but it has to be above the pump so that you get fluid to it. A lot of the times what you run into is the pump is so high in the engine bay that you have to put your reservoir above the hood, so most people cut out a hole in the hood. What I did instead was I drilled and tapped the reservoir to bolt directly onto the pump. So pretty good solution there, and it's worked brilliant for me. I haven't had any issues with it, and there's no way that it's going to run dry. A lot of times if you get on a side hill or whatever, if your reservoir is below your pump, that's bad. And in this case, it's really, really impossible for that to happen. One of the things I do need to think about is charging the battery so that when we go to start this thing, it'll actually start. One of the things that I didn't like about this Jeep from the beginning was where the battery was located. I put it under the seat here. It's nice and low. I like that about it. But getting to the battery is pretty difficult and complicated because you have to kind of remove the seat belts from the seat, and then the seat folds forward, and it doesn't fold forward very far because of all these bars, and then kind of digging around down there. I don't typically use the rear seat though, so I think for Scorpion 2.0 I'll probably get rid of this, and I also have some more equipment to install. Maybe I'll put it back here somewhere. Well, there's the battery. Let's see if it's got any juice. It's been sitting for about 2 years now, and it's got about 1/2 volt. Oh wait, let's see. Oh, it's got 5.5 volts. There we go. I also found a wrench here. That's probably not good to have in there with your battery. One of the things I want to do as soon as I get this running is to take it and wash it. It's not easy to wash a Jeep like this. You can't just run it through the car wash, although that would be a good video probably. Alright, you may be wondering how I'm going to resolve this issue. Well, I could just weld this bar back into place, and then if I ever had to replace the motor again, I could just cut it again. Or, I've got these clamps here. I sell these on Amazon actually. But what I can do is take those clamps, bolt them together, and then I'll weld this side to this clamp, this side to that clamp. There'll be 2 bolts then that I just unbolt those 2 bolts, and this slides out. So for that to work though, I need to take up the difference of this. So I'll need to cut off a 1/2 inch on this side and a 1/2 inch on this side. If you notice, there's a laser etched circle on there, and that just helps you line it up in the center. I'm going to angle that in line with the hood, and then I'll tack it in place for now. There we go, a little grinding and paint. Make me the welder I ain't. Add a little logo on there just for fun, and she's ready to rock and roll. I keep running into unexpected issues. Can you hear that? Look at this. Rick. What did you do, Rick? So, in hindsight, I should have changed every accessory on this thing to my original accessory. I got to looking at this, and the water pump that came off of this engine is completely different than the water pump on this engine. It's shallower here than it is over there. The pulley is the same diameter, but it's made different as well, so it wouldn't center on this one. I thought I was going to make it work, but yeah, the fan hits the pulley, and the pulley's not even on there yet, so change the water pump it is. Oops. Well, that one looks pretty good. I guess I could use this one, but I won't have a gasket. What do you guys think? Do we need a gasket for a water pump? Or can we just use straight RTV? This is the problem with living so far away from town. Because by the time I go to get a water pump and come back, it's going to be at least an hour and a half later. That's if I go straight there, grab the water pump, and straight back. So you can imagine if you like forget 2 items or 3 items and have to go back and forth to the parts store, it becomes insane. You can waste an entire day like that. So therefore, us country boys, we make do. Look at my dog, Buddy. Just sitting out there, chillaxing in the rain. Bud, what are you doing? You're gonna get soaked and then just go in the house and lay down on the floor. Yeah. Come here. Buddy. This dog. What are you doing? This dog loves hard surfaces. He'd rather lay on a hard surface than in a bed any day. Bud, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy dog. Oh, you're soaked. You're soaked wet. Well, after cleaning that thing up, I'm probably wasting time at this point, because I could have gone to the store and back by now. But I'm in it. I'm in it at this point. I have got to make this work now. There's no turning back. Okay, while that's setting up, let's see if we can figure this out. So, previously this was just kind of sitting here, but I'd like to make some sort of a bracket to hold that in place, a little more permanent. So I think I'll come up off the engine block. There's a bolt right here. I'll make a little bracket to hold it, and then that way that can vibrate with the engine. That ought to do the trick right there. Alright, there is a spark plug in the way, so I need to bend this right about here. To do that, I think I'll take a pie cut out of it and then just bend that back and weld it together. Then I'll take another short piece of this, and I want to bend it kind of to match this tube. I only need a couple inches though. So to do that, I'll just kind of go like this. A little bit more. Alright, now I just weld all that together, and Bob's your uncle, whatever that means. Alright, I baked on the spray paint. Now we're going to put that right there. And this will go in here. This hose clamp slides right over the bottom of that, and then I'll be able to tighten that up. Don't forget your sock! This is actually an extremely important part of this filter, is the sock. It keeps all the stuff from clogging it up. It actually makes this filter last so much longer, and the sock is washable. If I can just get it on there. Okay, back to the water pump. You're supposed to wait an hour before you tighten your RTV. Did you know that? You're supposed to hand tighten, wait an hour, and then tighten to spec. So that's what I'm doing here. And we'll be one step further, 2 steps back. All right, let's try for round number 2. This is the worst design ever. Whoever designed this, the way the fan shroud has to kind of go in at the same time as the fan. It's insane. Hey, what do you know? It clears the water pump this time. That's amazing. Amazeballs. Just for fun, I decided to test this fan because it seemed a little old. Like maybe a mouse got in there, I don't know. It works, but check this out. That's what it should do if it's working properly. Anytime I'm at a junkyard and see one of these, I go ahead and snatch it. And I'm glad I did in this case, because now I don't have to make another trip. Look at that. I got the motor in, and I did try to start it off camera, hoping that it would go well, but it didn't. Let me show you what's happening here.